Hey friends, welcome back to Channel Surf with Jazz. If this is your first time here, I'm Jazz and I watch a shit ton of TV. And one of the shows that I love that I'm watching right now is a RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, y'all, I've watched every season of like US Drag Race. So I'm really hard to impress these days, but I gotta say, something about season 16, I'm kind of liking it a little bit. And of course, to chat all things RuPaul's Drag Race, I had to bring somebody on to do it with me. Now, you guys have seen this face before on Channel Surf. He recapped the Real Housewives of Potomac with me, but I loved it so much that I was like, we got to run that back and talk about something else. So please welcome Carlos J. Harris. Hello again.
Hello, people. I'm super excited to be back on. You and
Yeah,
I hit it off, and
we
I
did.
even messaged you afterwards. Like, okay, we had a ton of fun.
We had so much
So
fun.
I am just happy that we could talk about another show that you and I love. So
Yes.
I am here, and I'm ready to talk all things RuPaul and Drag Race.
Oh my gosh. So have you seen every US season of Drag Race?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I remember season one, the with
Got a
the
Celine filter?
yes, I'm here. Like I'm 40 plus, so I my
Come on, 40 plus.
introduction, yes, skin, darling,
Yeah.
skin. So my introduction to RuPaul was Supermodel of the World in 1993 when it came, I think. So just to see this like glamazon, who I knew was a drag queen, a
Mhm.
man dressed in women's garb, and to be so out and proud and just again glamorous and with all these like 90s references, like, so I've been a day one RuPaul fan. And before that, RuPaul was in a music video that I remember from the B-52s, once again, of the 90s teen. So it was called Love Shot. I'm like, who is this drag queen with like big, huge afro dancing in the conga line? And years
Yeah.
later, it was RuPaul. So yeah, I
I
have,
love that. The
yeah.
song you're referring to is that Love Shack in the
Baby
Love
Love
Shack,
Shot. Dun, dun.
Love Shack.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
baby, let's get it down to see, we
Yes,
see each other.
we see each other. I
See,
love RuPaul. My first experience with RuPaul was in the movie Crooklyn. Did you see
yeah,
Crooklyn?
of
Yes.
course.
I ain't no puta. I keep
Yeah,
my pennies clean. That's
baby.
my introduction to RuPaul. And it's, my life was forever changed. So, yes, I didn't start watching Drag Race like when it first premiered, back in the logo days. I wasn't watching it, but I forget when it was. It was a couple years ago. I was like, I'm just gonna binge it. So like I watched every season from season one up to whatever. I want to say maybe season 12 was where I stopped at, or like I either started watching it live because that's where what was airing at the time. Either
Uh-huh.
way, I've seen every US season. I've seen like the first two UK seasons. I tried to watch Down Under, tried to get into Canada.
It's literally like a Marvel universe. I
Yes.
can't keep up. I fell off personally maybe a few seasons ago because it started to veer towards a very younger
Yeah.
drag queen
Yeah.
cast. And I enjoy people who are 30 plus, who have
Mhm.
some stories to tell, who, kind of have I've been there, done that type of mentality, because they're gonna give you a show. So
Right. They've lived enough to have some interesting experiences and the references too, because it's just like, no shade, Gen Z. I'm not watching a bunch of TikTok references. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see any more fucking H&M. Okay.
no, I'm not.
I don't want to see it.
Uh,
So let's get into RuPaul's Drag Race season 18, episode 2, Q pop girl groups.
I
Interesting.
Yes, I
Yeah.
enjoy group challenges because you get to see the
Okay.
dynamics of the people and their like personalities, who's going to be more dominant, and feisty, all the good stuff.
Yeah, this one was interesting. I was shocked that we were getting girl groups so quickly, though. I don't know if we like have gotten that before. And I also was like, where is the talent show? Don't we usually get the talent show in the first or second episode lately? The last couple seasons?
Yeah, you're right, but I think it's a good thing that the producer is like switching up the order
Sure. Yeah.
of the competition, because it kind of keeps us on our toes. That we're not like, oh, okay, so episode two they're going to do this, and how
Yeah.
we can get kind of like.
Right. It could get stale if they just follow the same format every season. Okay. So we open this episode and we know nobody went home last week. So we did not have a pork chop. We got we got a lip sync for your legacy though. And I want to say this. Vita for me, one of my favorite queens opening with her looks. I loved the entrance look. I loved the runway look, but she did not give in that lip sync. She didn't even know the lyrics.
That's my thing. I was shocked because I'm like, you gonna let this other queen get it? Maybe just because somebody's black doesn't mean they know rap. So I'm
Right.
not
Let's
even.
let's not
Yeah,
generalize.
yeah, I'm not generalizing. But I'm like, you let that queen jump like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
You know.
Vita is like she's a front runner for me because just the makeup. And that's another thing why I enjoy this show, just to see the artistry,
Yes.
like the
Yes.
makeup that she had on. I was like, oh my God. So yes, that her competing, her lip syncing for the legacy, I was so shocked that because I just knew
I
she had
did
the bag,
too. And you were going up against Nene Coco. Have you seen Nene Coco out of drag?
baby.
Like that is a Starbucks barista.
But you know what? No shade. Nene Coco is one of them ones. Like
Yes.
if you look at her makeup, her drag leans very feminine.
Yes.
Very. If I was to say, let me equate it to ballroom. Like Nene Coco could walk Butch Queen in drag's face. Like she's
Oh.
very pretty in
Yes.
drag. She's not no drag, no like extra drag makeup. It's very like you could see it every day. Up in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we
But I
say.
think that's because Nene Coco, when you see them out of drag, and I'm saying them because I don't know how they identify, I don't want to
Mhm.
misgender. Very small features.
Yes,
Very
yeah,
small features on the face.
yeah.
So but yeah, I was like, oh, Nene Coco ate it, and knew all the lyrics. I was like, okay, but Vita,
Uh-huh.
next time, Miss Mamas, please come with it because we are all rooting for you.
No, I think she's going to do good. I just think I think she underestimated Nene Coco. I
Yeah.
think Vita, because Vita's, a little older, very
Hmm.
polished, very seasoned. Sometimes you think you can like, oh, let me go in here and do a little shimmy and, and all the things and the
Yeah.
little kitten eat you up. And you like,
Because they got the
okay.
energy and those good knees.
Yes. You're like, oh, she probably this little kitten is eating me up, but let me go
Yeah.
ahead and I mean, so it happens.
It was fun. Before we jump into the episode though, I want to ask I don't want to go through all of the queens because if you're watching this
It's a lot.
recap, then you know all of our queens.
Yeah.
But going in, can you tell me maybe your favorite queen going in and maybe your least favorite?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So can I give you two favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Vita, I like Jane Don't. I
Mm,
love a like quirky comedy queen, and when he referenced like Bette Midler and I think someone else as his idol, I was like, okay, I'm here. I can see it. I love the aesthetic that she gives. Who else? And I said Vita, and I like Kenya. I like Kenya Pleaser.
oh, do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I see potential. I see potential, and I just like this personality. I
Okay.
think she's a very cute queen out of drag. But yeah, I'm here for her. Oh, and who I care for the least was I forgot her name, but she came with the corn outfit from LA. Because then someone was like, "Wait, you're representing LA, but you're wearing a corn outfit." Because
Darlene Mitchell.
yeah, I was like, I just I don't know. Like, even the runway look in episode 2 at the end was a little too pedestrian for me.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Darlene is kind of like, or at least what I've been seeing, kind of like a fan favorite. Like a lot of the fandom really likes Darlene. They just think she's really like adorable. She does have a really kind smile. I don't know if it's the teeth. Like the teeth are like just
Yes.
so like, and it
Yeah.
makes the smile. So she has a really kind smile. I think it's interesting that you like Kenya Pleaser. Kenya Pleaser is not my least favorite. But
Mm.
she feels like a caricature of like all the big black queens. I feel like they all feel like they have to act like that.
You know what, Jazz? You know what? I wanted to be nice. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. The reason why I'm rooting for Kenya Pleaser because I don't want her to fall into that.
Yeah.
I want her to be competition. I want her to be a threat. Because when of course, we're years into the show. So when you see a plus size queen come in, you don't see a threat. Oh, I don't see a
Right.
threat. Like you
Mhm.
seem very safe.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
Latrice. Oh, this just Mama Latrice, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And they again kind of feed into that stereotype. So I'm rooting for her simply because I don't want her to fall into that. I don't want
Yeah.
her to be. the what do you call it? She got to pull herself up, and no,
Right, the underdog.
yes, I can say this as a gay man. A lot of uh, gay men sometimes have a underdog mentality, especially when you show up in the world a certain type of way. So a lot of those little components play into that. So I'm rooting for her because I'm like, girl, you are fab. Get these girls some competition. So I'm hoping that she doesn't fall into that category.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Because I
Yeah,
also think I feel like Kenya's a little young too, so she might also still be evolving. When you're coming up, especially I can only imagine in a world like drag,
yeah,
there is a lot of pressure to kind of brand yourself and be this thing. And so I could totally see her getting inspiration from queens like Latrice Royale and stuff like that, the kind of plus size black queens that came
yeah.
before. And that's why I'm saying it feels like a caricature because I don't fully believe it yet. It almost seems like she's putting it on, like
Oh
laying
yeah,
it on
it's a
very
little
thickly.
it's a
Yeah.
little like a comment for everything, like
Yes.
everything. Like girl, you don't have to
Yeah.
make them feel comfortable with who you are.
Right, right. But I mean, when you're young, you think that's what you have to do. Beautiful queen, though, like very beautiful out of drag. So there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential there because she's also very likable. But I
Hmm.
will say, Briar Blush, I also wasn't really feeling them. And it's also because of like that haircut. I hate that haircut.
I don't mind it. I don't know why. You could tell that it fits them, their
Sure.
personality, their like personal style. It
Yes.
gives me very like in Los Angeles, we have an area called Silver Lake, and New York is very Bushwick.
Oh,
Bushwick.
Bushwick. Yes. Very Bushwick.
Yes,
Okay.
it's very of that type of ilk.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Briar's personality is leaves little to be desired so far.
So far.
Sometimes people kind of present a very hard exterior, and once you get to know them, they're like super sensitive or just a really nice person. So
Yeah, that could be the case. I was just going
uh,
off, my first impression, and I was like, I don't buy this. Like, you're coming in trying to be the bitch of the season, and it's just you either are or you aren't. But when I can tell you're trying to be, it doesn't really work.
yeah,
It doesn't
exactly,
really work to me. But I
exactly.
will say, unequivocally, my least favorite is Sierra Mist, and it's only because it's not them as a person. I just don't like that drag style. Like, it's very crystal method, diabetes with you
Yeah,
know, a lot of that. I just don't resonate with that drag style. Is not to say that they're not a great drag queen, but if I'm
yeah.
talking about like my favorites, that was my least favorite.
Yeah, it's derived from like '90s club kids.
Sure,
So
sure,
I
sure.
I definitely get it, but yeah, who said it? I forgot. Was it Athena about her name, Sierra Mist? It's like, girl, a soda
A
is
soda. Yeah.
no longer in production. Okay, girl.
Yeah, yeah. So that was those are, some people that I was kind of just like, okay, but like I said, I love Vita, love Nini Coco, Mia Star. So Mia Star, the looks aren't my cup of tea, but just the
Mhm.
personality, I think Mia Star, I really like them. That's the one that's the choreographer that was on tour with
Oh
Rihanna and
yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
I didn't like, her drag and her cadence, how she talks. She reminds me of uh, it's something S titties from last season on
Selena
season.
Estides.
Selena S titties,
Yeah,
yes. Like
yeah,
and over time, these queens start to kind of favor other ones that have come before.
yes.
So her first introduction was like, yeah, I'm mob wife slash. I'm like, what should give me Selena? Like a little.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I really didn't feel Selena like that. But yeah, I could totally see you getting Selena from Mia. But like I said, it's just more of the personality with Mia.
Yeah,
I didn't really like the look. I liked Jane Doe. I didn't Jane Doe's look, her entry look, but I did Jane Doe personality wise in this episode. She turned it. So
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, she's one to watch for sure. And like you said, we're 18 seasons into this shit.
Mm.
Most of these queens are gonna remind us of queens who came before. And when
Uh,
she walked in, I think somebody was like, "Is that Jinx Monsoon?"
yes, because of the color hair and
Yeah,
makeup and just like the whole '40s aesthetic, like
yeah,
very Jinx.
100%. Which is, I mean, hey, if you're gonna be like
Listen,
any queen, that's not a bad one to be like.
Jinx is on Broadway. It's on Broadway.
On Broadway.
I love
Okay, so we're in the episode and it is a new day in the workroom. All right, Rue comes on the screen and she gives us a rule number 72 and I said, "Am I watching P Valley with Uncle Clifford's rules and all of this?" But rule number 72, everyone has a voice, but not everyone deserves a microphone. And that leads Ru coming in and tells the girls that they're going to be doing Q-pop girl groups. That's this week's challenge. And
Uh,
like you said, you like the group challenges a lot.
yes, I do. I always like not cringe, but I'm very tense when they're picking people because
Yeah.
I don't like people feeling left behind.
Yeah,
Speaking
right?
of Kenya, I was like, please do not let her be left behind. Like
Yeah.
I just don't like the optics of it. So I
Yeah.
was so glad that she was picked. I was like, thank God, you know.
I hate that for people too. I'm like, but it is, that's the way the world works. Sometimes
Yeah,
you're not going to be selected all the time.
they played it smart, Vita and Nina Coco, because they left Miss Athena Dion out to dry. That was so smart. It was smart.
That was surprising to me though.
It
I just knew one of them would pick her up.
So that told me, I said, maybe Athena, because she is, episode one, she gave very grand dame energy,
Yes.
like these are my granddaughters here, my sisters here. So I don't know, once they yelled cut and went back to the hotel, was Athena given,
They said
Dundada?
she's a diva.
Yes. So they're like, oh, okay, well, let us be strategic. And that's so, it goes back to this isn't RuPaul's best friend
Best
race.
friends race. Yep.
That was so. I love that because again, it's fresh. It keeps us, the viewers, on our toes. Because I just knew, I said, "Oh, they're gonna pick her."
Yep.
They
Yep.
let
Same.
us dry. So
Same.
I love it.
I love that too. It was definitely surprising. So they get their tracks, and this is like a little bit right before they select the team. So sorry, y'all, we jumped ahead just a tad bit, but they get their tracks. The first track is Funk Almighty, which is a disco track that is inspired by Sylvester. Go 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 is the second track, and it's a pop track inspired by Wham. Now, for those of you, if you like Christmas music, the song Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. I'm not winning any singing talent shows anytime soon, but I wanted to let y'all know that song is by Wham. So iconic song, iconic group.
Listen, as someone who's 40 plus, I grew up on Wham. That song, "Wake Me Up When You Go Go," that was the first song I learned on the keyboard. Cassie
Wake
keyboard.
me up before
Yeah,
you go.
Wham.
I
That's
didn't know
Wham.
that was Wham.
I have been a George Michael stan since I was a kid.
Oh my gosh, well I wouldn't know because I'm only 19.
Yes,
So
girl, you just graduated. You got all this.
you know what I mean? The world is so new to me, so I don't know.
Girl, the internet is new to you. What is
It
all this
is.
social media? Girl, what is all this?
Oh, I would not go back to being 19. I'm telling you now. So
Girl,
they
so
have the Go 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 pop track, Cherries, which is the punk track inspired by the Runaways. Were you a big punk rock fan?
punk rock wasn't my thing. I do have a song by The Clash on my in my Apple in my Apple
Mhm.
library, but I'm more of like grunge, like 80s rock and grunge
Okay,
is like
got
my
you.
thing. But I know the group The Runaways because it was a
Okay.
movie about it, so I'm very familiar with all three genres.
Yeah, come on. You know all of the history, the music history.
That's
I
fine.
love that. So those are the three tracks, and then Nini, Coco, and Vita, they get to select teams because they were the winners of last week's challenge. And then whoever they don't select, that is effectively the third team. So Nini selects Mia Star, Sierra Mist, Mikey Meeks, and Kenya Pleaser. Okay, your girl got selected.
I
And
know.
then Vita's team was Briar Blush, Juicy Love Dion, Discord Adams, and Jane don't. Some girls do, but Jane don't. I love that's gonna be RuPaul's thing that she says. You know how last season, what
Yes.
was it? Lydia Butthole Collins.
Yes, yeah. I love when RuPaul has an affinity for a name and just rings
Yes.
it every time. I love that.
I love that too. And so then the throwaways, that team was Athena, Didi Fuego, Darlene Mitchell, and Mandy Mango. And look, those are probably out of all of the queens. No, I was gonna say those are probably the queens that like I had the least amount of feelings for, but I actually really like Athena because I think she's fab.
I'm slightly here for Athena.
Yeah.
Fuego. I don't think
Eh,
no one caught the shade when she was like, "I'm from Mexico, but I'm not cha cha cha." She mean ghetto,
yeah.
but nobody caught it.
Yeah. No, but they did call it out there as they're like, you're not cha cha cha, but your name is literally Didi Fuego.
Right.
Girl.
But she wants to benefit. She wants to benefit from the cha cha cha. So, you know,
But you don't want to be cha cha cha.
yes, we know how this
Interesting.
goes.
Exactly. Lots
Yeah,
of experience. Okay. So everybody wants the disco track, and this kind of creates our first like feud of the season with the girlies because they're all sitting around. Everybody's like, we will eat the disco track. Nobody wants to stand down. So we're
mhm.
at an impasse, really. And to be honest with you, I feel like this scene kind of went on a little too long for me. Because like I know they're gonna eventually figure it out. So why do we have to see so much of it?
I don't know. I think it's maybe was building towards something bigger,
Okay.
attention. So that's what I assumed because you are right. It was a little too long,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but maybe something else, maybe another group challenge, and they kind of reference, this one as a focal point.
That makes sense. And it also does set up the results of this challenge though, because it's like they all fought for the disco song, but we
Mhm.
see the throwaway group, and I hate calling them throwaways, but the girls who were left over, they get the disco track. So then as they're going through this argument scene, something that really took me back to like old school drag race was when Athena asks, like, why can't we choose our song? And then Vita goes, because y'all are the leftovers. And I was
Baby.
like, so us, the people who have been watching for a long time or the people who are of a certain age and a certain age range, we understand like drag shade. A lot of these new younger fans, they think it is RuPaul's best friends race. And I'm
Yeah.
like, if you've ever been around queens in real life or you just ever been around the community in
Yeah.
real life, it's constant shade all the time. Like her saying because y'all are the leftovers, it was so old school to me.
Old school, and again, this is why you get these tidbits and nuggets when you cast older people because they're not playing for the camera,
Mhm,
or they're
mhm.
not playing it safe.
Right.
So these queens have been at bars, backstage getting dressed, and it's imagine the stuff that goes on behind there.
Yeah.
So and if you're 30 plus, you're used to you're a little you can take it because you know this
Right.
man, you know what you're here for.
Yeah, exactly. So Vita's group gets the punk.
Hmm.
They get the punk song. Athena's group gets the disco song, and then Nini Coco's group they get the pop song. And so Vita, after all of that, Vita says it was her plan all along to get the punk song. And I'm like, girl, stop lying.
A mess. I know. I
Stop
know.
lying. So then they start planning out their songs and writing. Discord was really trying to convince Vita to take the punk song from the beginning because she's like, I'm a punk girl. This is what
Mhm.
I do. But as soon as they start writing music, Discord needs help. And I'm like, I thought you were the punk queen.
I don't. That it's so funny when they say things like they're an expert. I can sing. Or I have,
Yeah.
I have dance experience. And two
And you
scenes
can't
later, it's giving kibbles and bits. Like, I get it because you want to tell people your talents, but
right.
sometimes you can't oversell yourself.
That's it. You need to, what is it? Over prepare, no, under prepare and over deliver.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
what you need to do in these instances. So then they move on to the choreography. I thought Jamal was going to be there to teach them a number, but they had to create their own choreography.
I like that. Again,
Yeah,
it's a twist, and maybe he'll pop up towards
I'm
the
sure.
end when it's
Yeah.
more like elaborate. But I like that, and I'm
Yeah.
quite sure they were expecting that. But again, these group challenges, especially something like this in the beginning, is kind of like showing to producers and us who are like who's leading the pack.
Right. That's a good point. And we see immediately when Mia's team comes in, which is Nini Coco's team, immediately starts getting to work because Mia is a professional choreographer. So
Mhm.
I'm like, if nothing else, they are gonna have the team with the best choreography.
Yes, and
You
they
know,
did.
yeah, you know, it was. As an overall group, the choreography, yeah, you're right. That's what we're talking about right now. That was good. But Vita's group and Athena's group, not dancers at all. And it was kind of hard because I'm not the best dancer, but if
Uh-huh.
someone's teaching me something, I can pick up on it. So I watch it and I'm like, how does your body not how is your body unable to like follow what this person is like showing you?
Yeah, I think sometimes again we kind of lose sight of this is a show. Like they're on stage, people, but it's a camera crew, people.
Right.
They're still new. It's probably like day two, day three. They're in their head because every drag queen doesn't dance.
Right.
I
Right.
think we sometimes, but again, this is season 18. We already know what we come on here for. Like a queen that comes on here to cancel, it's like, all right.
Mhm.
Do
You
you
know what it
know
was.
what show you on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So I get it. Sometimes nerves. So maybe because me, I can dance, but you get me on stage with the camera and lights, I'm like,
No, you're absolutely right. That's a great point. I didn't consider that. I didn't consider
mm,
that. You're already nervous. You know you're going to be on TV. You
yeah.
don't want to look silly, and you know
Mm-hmm.
dancing isn't your strong suit. Okay, I get that. So then we move on to the singing scene with Michelle Visage, and Athena falls asleep when her group is up there, and Darlene in her falsetto had me cracking up because I was like, "What is this?"
Okay, so I thought that Athena falling asleep was a bit, but hearing you say it, I get that was real.
I mean,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Like I said, I love a been there, done it queen on Drag Race because they going in the shower. I'm going to sleep. Yeah, I can do this little. Yeah.
Right, and that actually falls more in line with her grand dame
Yes.
persona. Yeah,
Yes.
the diva persona. If it's not about me, I couldn't care less. I'm gonna catch me some Z's. I
Exactly.
love that. Wait, the more I talk about her, the more I'm like, hold on, I think I live. I think I really live a little
Live
bit more,
a little bit, a little bit.
a little more, a little more.
Mm.
Kenya was good. Kenya. Now, what I laughed so hard at, Kenya
Uh-huh.
said they used to sing in the church.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's why they can carry a tune. They were in the choir back in
Got
the day,
it. Got it. Got it.
but not that far back in the day because I think they were really young. So they
Yeah.
were in the church singing. And then Nene Coco has a storyline where her voice has been lost, and they were kind of setting her up as if she was gonna like totally flop because of the voice thing, but she pulled it together.
Yeah, very ingenue, starlet. My voice. I can't. I'm crying. My voice. I was like, oh, she gonna be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
We know you're gonna do. You're either gonna like completely flop or you're gonna win. That's what I was thinking at this point, but
Uh-huh.
that's what they were setting us up to believe. So then we go back into the workroom. The queens are getting ready, and the one of the funny things that Didi Fuego did in this scene was when she was talking about where she's from in Mexico. Oh, you're absolutely right. She didn't want the cha 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 because Miss Mama
Mm-hmm.
is from the Beverly Hills of Mexico.
Yeah, she made sure to reference Beverly Hills. No, I'm not in the barrio, honey.
I'm not
No,
from the
darling.
ghetto. I don't know what that is. I don't know what those people
No,
are like. That's not
no, honey.
me. And the
No.
queen, I forget which one it was. They said, how do you say gay in Spanish?" And Didi Fuego
Sorry,
said,
like gay.
gay, gay.
I'm like, I care. I care.
And so yes, let's roll into the challenge now. Rue comes out. This is one of my favorite parts of each episode is the watching Rue walk out. What did you think of Rue's look with the red wig and the black dress?
It was gorgeous. First of all, I think, sometimes we get used to seeing people on our screen forever. And
Yeah.
RuPaul is in like mid 60s.
Yeah.
That queen looks you know what, good.
Yeah. RuPaul
Every
does
outfit, like spectacular. Like,
always.
it's rare a miss here and there, but the first two, like the episode 1 and episode 2, like the looks are just, I'm like, God,
I love
Jesus.
RuPaul. And you just reminded me that RuPaul is mid 60s.
Yeah.
RuPaul, please don't ever die. Don't. My life will never be. I don't know a life without RuPaul. So like don't ever go nowhere. So then we get the performances. So the Studio 50 Whores was a Funk Almighty team. I hated it.
I was so disappointed. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's so funny because when I think of disco and RuPaul, I just think "Don't Be Jealous of My Boogie" because that was like,
Yes.
But I'm like, disco, it's so much like queer iconography, glam. You have just like Studio 54, and these aren't like 18, 19-year-old drag queens on this show. I'm like,
Mhm.
I was shocked that they did it so poorly.
Yeah, it was
And
bad. It sounded like every other like Drag Race song. Like the cadence was like
yeah,
very,
yeah,
yeah, I wasn't a fan and I was like, y'all fought so hard just to give us this.
and even like just there was no like as I can't remember no like disco dance references.
Not
No
like they
like
didn't even give us, yeah.
girl,
And I'm only 19 and I know
you
that.
are 19. Girl, if we can
You know?
girl, come on.
Study.
Come
Study
on.
the ancient text, kids. Like, if you are a youngin right now, you plan to go on Drag Race at any point, just study everything that came before you because
You
you need
have
to be able to
to.
reference history. Yes.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah, so there was nothing there. Then the next team is Glam with the Go Go Go. I I was still underwhelmed by them, but they were better than the Studio
Yeah.
54. So I was like, okay, we're making some improvements, but I
Yeah.
hope this isn't the best that we have.
No.
You know, and it wasn't. It wasn't
Mm-mm.
because the Tucked Aways, which I loved that name, by the way. The Tucked Aways. Studio 50 Horrors was really good too, actually, as a name. They had the Cherry song and
Mm-mm.
they turned it.
Honey.
They turned it. I was like, I was not familiar with their game. Briar Blush was in this group, which I said at the top she wasn't my favorite. But I
Yeah.
was watching this and I was like, I might be wrong.
I was like, okay, I see the vision. I see. And think about it, it was a group challenge, and this group, they worked as a group, and they
Yeah.
also had a chance to show their solo talents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Juicy Love Dion, I was like, oh, okay, because I kind of in my mind I kind of read her off. Okay, she'll be here, full la la, and but I'm like, oh wow, she did a really like they all did so well.
They did very well, and Juicy Love Beyond is, like, adorable. When she puts
Yes,
that, like, kitten I'm
yes,
like, "How fucking cute are you?"
I
But your
know.
girl Jane Don't, she tore. She did a
Yes,
really good job. She did a
and
very good job.
yes, yes, and I love the ones that people don't look at.
They did a good job. I will say, though, with these songs, I was like, none of these songs are particularly memorable, and
Mm.
I saw a TikTok where somebody was like, "Am I lying when I say we'll never get anything as good as Read You, Wrote You?" And I was like, "You're not lying. Read You Wrote You is amazing, but I love Bing Bang Bong from the UK
Okay,
queen. That's my song. Do you have a favorite girl group song?"
I oh no, I don't actually. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We'll offline and we'll go through all the songs and then you can tell me offline.
Yeah,
You
I
like
know they're familiar, but one doesn't stand out.
right. Yeah. No, that's understandable. That's
Yeah.
understandable. So then we get to the runway category, which I have a bone to pick because the runway category was your neck, your back, your and your crack. Why wasn't Thug Mrs. a guest judge?
But mind you, Kaya and T.S. Medicine have had this what five
Beef.
plus year beef.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay. Look,
Same.
Maddie like, honey, I'm here to get my check, cup of water, and
Maddie is like, I don't have shit to do with the runway categories. Leave me out of it, please. But yeah, get my girl Kaya on the guest panel.
oh, she too rough. She
I
oh,
know. I know.
too
It
much.
would be a mess. But yes, the runway category is your neck, your back, your and your crack. And the queens had to come down in a look that shows off their favorite body part. We got some unique ones. Let's run through the girlies as
Oh,
they came onto our screen. So Athena wanted to show off her back. I liked it. It was
yeah,
cute.
yeah, I
It
like
was
it.
nice. Darlene wanted to show off her skin and it was sunburnt, and that's gonna be a no from me, dog.
They're too pedestrian.
Yeah, exactly. Mandy Mango wanted to show off her face. Now, I actually liked this. It
You, I like a avant-garde as
mhm,
didn't see it coming look. I think there was no like poise. There was she didn't command the stage.
right. I
And
can
I
see
think
that.
she didn't sell it. There we go.
Right.
She didn't
I
sell it.
can see that. And also to me, I feel like if you're giving face, the makeup has to be flawless.
You better
The
be,
makeup wasn't flawless.
honey. If you selling face, you better be sitting untold.
You know? You know what I
Like,
mean?
and it wasn't. You're right. The makeup. It was like, oh, okay, well,
Right. Right. It was. But I liked the effort. I give it an A for effort for sure.
yeah.
Didi Fuego wanted to show off legs. No, I did not like it. It was giving loofah. Just no. Very plain to me. But it's one of those things. I feel like there is a world in which Didi Fuegos could have worked, but I just didn't like it for this for some reason.
Yeah.
You know? Mia Starr came out and she wanted to show her neck, back, see, and crack. So she wanted to show it all, but it was a no.
I didn't like it. It
I
just,
didn't like it either.
I don't know. Like this, this as a whole, this runway was like I was so underwhelmed.
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah.
It didn't feel.
I agree. I agree with you actually. Kenya Pleaser wanted to show everything. My notes say absolutely not.
I didn't like it. It
I
wasn't
hated it.
complimentary. It wasn't complimentary. It didn't. It Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
And it looks very cheap to me too.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
It did. It did. It did.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sierra Mist wanted to show off their eyes. Also a no for me. It was very costumey.
Yeah.
It was like the eyes. It reminded me, have you ever watched Real Monsters? Real Monsters?
Uh-huh.
And that one monster, the black and white one who has the one big eye up here. I
Yeah.
think her name is like Oblong or something. That's what that put me in the mind of. But I like Real Monsters. I did not like this. Nene Coco wanted to show off their brain. Now I didn't like the overall look, but I thought the hat was cool.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
Again, I think that look to me, I was like, she looks very like she could like her makeup and stuff pared down. She's giving drags realness.
Yeah.
You would think, you wouldn't is that a dragon or a woman? So yeah.
Right. Yes. It's because she got that small face and that small back.
Yes.
Mikey Meeks wanted to do the legs, which I said in my notes that it's creative, but I actually cannot picture it right now that I'm thinking about it.
I can't. Mikey Meeks is another. I'm just not here for it.
Yeah.
This is very throwaway.
Right. I'm very indifferent towards Mikey Meeks.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Discord Adams, they want to show off their back and their crack. Now that walk is dreadful. Like, why are you doing that?
I see. I didn't know if that was his actual walk or he was just doing a shtick. Like I couldn't tell.
Oh, in the first episode.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. But then the runway, I was like, wait, you can't, huh? No.
It was not good, but I didn't hate the dress that they were wearing. I thought the dress was okay, especially showing off like what they wanted to show off. I want to see something real quick because I think this queen had my favorite entry look. Discord Adams.
Discord had the thing it was like the spikes and like a plaid
animal print.
No. Discord had the like ab fab, like the bouffant hair. I think that was it.
This was Discord.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Discord Adams had my favorite entry look.
Yeah.
I've been kind of looking at them since then, but yeah, I didn't hate the dress, which kind of falls in line with kind of who I'm getting to know them to be, right? Like the fashion is kind of okay with Discord Adams. Vita Von Teese wanted to do booty. I didn't love it. I didn't love it because it looked, again, very cheap to me, especially when you compare it to the first two looks that were giving very opulent, elegant. This was like...
You know what? I don't think this is one of those runway categories that I don't think we'll see again for a while, until it's like really the rules are really like fleshed out.
Sure, yeah.
Because you could tell, I was like, no one's really hitting it at the park with the looks.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they're going to go back to the drawing board and okay, we need to refine exactly what we're looking for, because only one or two people like really brought it to me that was like whimsical and really spoke to what they were selling.
Yeah, I agree with you. The next one up is Briar Blush, and Briar Blush wanted to show off the finger. I actually liked the look. I actually dug the look.
I was here for the all lace.
Yeah. No, that wasn't lace.
That wasn't lace?
Lace was Mia Star had the lace one on. Briar Blush, it was still a black one piece and it had the tassels on. It was very good. It was very good.
Okay.
Yeah. It was very good. Briar Blush was, surprisingly. Some girls do, but Jane don't. Wanted to show her mouth. I loved that. It looked so polished, actually.
And expensive.
Yep. Yeah, it was very creative.
I love that. And again, I love a quirky queen with a strong sense of self and like their looks. And I was like, oh wow, this is really cool.
Yeah, I was like, you can tell,
like clownish.
Right, exactly. And you can tell she spent some money on that. So I really liked that. Juicy Love Dion wanted to show off the left leg. The dress was interesting, but I just felt like the dress was wearing her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it
Yeah.
just was like, okay. So anyway, that takes us to the end of the runway, and the Studio 50 whores are the bottom group, rightfully. They earned every bit of that bottom placement. And then Mia Star and Jane Don't are in the top. Now, I totally understand Mia Star being in the top for the performance aspect, but the runway, I think that would have taken me out of it.
I think they didn't even consider the runway looks. They were
Yeah.
like, everybody pretty much kind of was confused. We're just going to go by the group challenge.
Yeah, and then Jane Don't obviously makes sense runway and performance
Yeah.
wise. I agree with that placement. Everybody else is safe. And so the judges start to talk to the girlies about, hey, you had this disco challenge, you flopped, basically. And that's really all she wrote. Darlene reveals that she'd been sober for 9 years. And I like what Rue said. Rue complimented the name and called it like really
Yeah.
dark. But then told her like drag race is our addiction. And I really like the reframing of that because everybody has a vice. Most people have addictions. Making something like drag your addiction, I think that was really cool for Rue.
Yeah. And also too, it's these personal stories that really endear us to the contestants. So that was a really good moment for the show.
Yeah, it really was. And so, no surprises here. Jane Don't wins this week and gets $5,000 a tip. I love that for Jane Don't. But then, unfortunately, Didi Fuego and Mandy Mango. Oh, they rhyme. Didi Fuego and Mandy Mango. Didi Fuego and Mandy Mango. They are right. They are in the bottom two, which to me, I mean, that makes sense to me. They do their lip sync to Dove Cameron, and Mandy Mango won, a clear winner, but I wasn't gagged by the lip sync either because Mandy Mango kept doing the job. Now, let me ask you something. Are you from the ballroom scene?
Yeah, I'm ballroom adjacent. I've had ballroom friends since I was like 16, so I'm super familiar.
Okay.
I've been to balls, have friends' house, whatever. Yeah. So
is it called a death drop?
no, and that irritated me.
Right?
No. It's a dip. It's
a dip.
It's a dip. And I was so shocked that Madison called it a death drop. Yeah. I'm like, Madison. And it's funny because she liked the post that I tweeted. I made a post about it when the episode aired and she liked it. I'm like, girl, Madison, all right. We are too long in this game. She's too connected to, she knows about ballroom culture. So ballroom people. So and then someone commented like, well, within drag race context, it's a death drop. No, it's a dip.
It's like you
because you're taking from ballroom, you can't take from ballroom and rename it and repackage it.
Exactly. You cannot do that. That's why I always want to make sure I have my lingo correct, because I definitely wrote in my notes a death drop, but I put question marks. I'm like, I know it's not really called a death drop in ballroom, but thank you for telling me. So that was a dip. She relied too heavily on the dips. It's the same way that like this or what?
Oh my god! Don't even.
Like, but it's this, right?
And I see thing with I don't even know, but I know where it started. It started with Laomi on Legendary, and it started in ballroom. Like her and someone else literally created that, and it's like you don't want to, you're just like okay, but I don't know how to do it correct because I don't do it. It's a ballroom thing, but then it is morphed into, because of social media, it's morphed into things take on a life so fast that you really have to. The creator has to catch up to the thing. Yeah, it's so interesting.
I have a recap that I did where we were laughing and we both started doing this. And I'm mortified like to this day that I did, because I know that this isn't right and I did it, but that's how I've been seeing people do it. But I know it's wrong. So like now I'm just like, damn, it's out there for the world to see. And
but it's okay. It's okay. Like that's a part of life if you're receptive to educating yourself and learning, because like again, things with social media, things get created and they take on a life of its own so fastly that the person that created like wait, let me educate you on where all this derived from. So but yeah, it's so interesting how ballroom culture has influenced drag race but don't get the credit that, because all this like blank blank realness, blank blank, I'm like, that's ballroom.
Yeah.
And sometimes, RuPaul does incorporate ballroom challenges or things within the show. And of course, we've had ballroom contestants on Drag Race. I just think it's very important to always say things correctly if you're on the platform.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's my whole
I
thing.
agree with you. Basically, the takeaway here is bring back Legendary, please. I'm praying for it. Please, that was a wrong show to get canceled. So anyway, Didi Fuego is the pork chop of the season and is the first one to be sent home. And that brings us to the end of episode 2. So I will say the first episode, I was like, I'm feeling this. Like, I think we're gonna get some old school Drag Race. This episode was good, but I still felt underwhelmed by it at the end.
Yeah, the runway looks were a dud for me. I think that is what took me down a notch. Maybe that's why I couldn't remember that Mandy won. Because I was like, what are these looks? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on, people? Because the thing is, besides like the challenges, I'm here for the runway looks. Like that's the main course to me.
Yeah.
I want to see that's when they get to shine. And I think when we have weak runway looks, people like me kind of tune out and forget who won. So
That's how it is though, because I was like at multiple points during this episode, I wanted to scroll on my phone. And I was like, when I get to that point, that's because nothing is really like making me want to lock in. But I think this season still has a lot of potential. I think I'm looking forward most to the Snatch Game, but only because I can't call it yet. I think Jane Doe is probably going to dominate the Snatch Game.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite episodes. And the last few years, it's been very hit or miss.
Oh my gosh, we've had some dreadful Snatch Game. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, Carlos. I don't think we're getting another we've already had the golden age Snatch Games. Like we're not getting that anymore.
No, we didn't have to go to the age of a lot of things. Even though you're only 19.
Right. I don't know a lot about this. Tell me about the olden days, sir.
Girl, back in the 90s.
19, y'all dead.
Girl, hey. A mess.
But this was so fun, Carlos. Thank you so much for coming by to talk Drag Race with me. Let my subscribers know where they can find you and follow you.
You can find me on X at Carlos J. Harris. I'm a writer. I have lots of content out there. Just click the link in my bio and you'll see all of my work.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into my RuPaul's Drag Race recap with Carlos J. Harris. Make sure you guys go and follow him. I mean, he has movies out that you can watch, all the content. And he's really one of my favorite follows on X. He called it X. I still call that shit Twitter, but it is technically X. Okay, so make sure you follow him on X and on Instagram. And then come back next week because I am going to be recapping the rest of the season of Drag Race with some of your other favorite creators. And I cannot wait to do that. And in the meantime, I'm going to go start prepping for my 20th birthday party. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.